Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Earn here, Earn collects. Welcome back. I'm a six-figure seller on whatever platforms. Honestly, I only say that because I don't want people to think I'm a complete jokester. Even though I shouldn't care what people think, at the same time, it's good to share credibility. Anyway, I'm a six-figure seller. Let's just say less than $500,000 for this year. I sell Pokemon, I sell other things, and I wanted to record this brief introduction because there's other footage I recorded related to why investing in Pokemon is a joke, parentheses, and you should probably do it. I record a lot of that footage at like 4:30 a.m. and honestly, after looking back and re-watching it, there's some points that I wanted to insert here now before you watch the rest. The main point is just, when I say booster boxes, I mean booster boxes and insert the highest available piece of product that you can get for that set. So in other words, i.e. ETBs, special ETBs, that kind of thing. So you're gonna hear that a lot, and I'm like, obviously you're like, what is going on with this video? I have no idea what you're talking about. It'll make sense when you watch. Yeah, I just wanted to start off with that. But when I say booster boxes, I mean booster boxes and what also what else is available for that set. So I think that'll make a lot of sense. I appreciate you guys for watching, and let's get into the video. That's that lighting, huh? Hey guys, good morning. I'm gonna put this down to cover up the phone. It is 4:30 a.m. Great camera work, guy. It's 4:30 a.m. And I'm gonna grab my coffee. And I'm gonna take this opportunity to record. You're probably asking, why are you up at 4:30 a.m.? It's because this is how early I wake up. Something I've always done. Honestly, if you're not a morning person, it's probably the greatest thing in the world. You can get a lot done, and you can wake up and you can check your Pokemon investment portfolios and see how well they're doing. Sorry, that's a stupid joke. I'm gonna get my computer while I talk to you guys. It's 4:30. I am feeding the dogs. I am also not on camera right now. Grabbing my laptop. And I thought I'd make this next video on something that it's been gnawing at me, and that's why you should invest. No, the title of the video is why investing in Pokemon is a complete joke, yet you should probably do it anyway. So, why? Why do I make this video, and why am I holding this frother? I'm putting this away. Well, there's so much content out there these days on, I'm a hot mess. I should probably just figure out a way to sit. There's so much content out there on Pokemon investing these days, and it really cracks me up because a couple of reasons. First, I think the idea that you can make money from Pokemon, the amount of people who want to know that, right? It's you can obviously make money in Pokemon. That's what I should say. And the idea that there are things that you can pick and choose, and if you get the right pick, you're gonna make a ton of money. What I've learned is like, that's really not how this works, right? And there are people who spend way too much time analyzing, micro-analyzing these small decisions around which singles, which sealed, which thing, which play, this and that. And like, at the end of the day, here's what I've learned in the last 5 years. If you have the means to tie up money, so cash, whatever, and you can buy booster boxes, just buy booster boxes and don't do anything else. That's literally it. Everything else is second to that and requires too much brain power, or carries too much risk, or just does not have as good of returns as a booster box. And I'm also including ETBs, right? So I think there's like a ton of content out there, and people really mean well to dissect and tell you, here's what you could buy, here's how much you can make. Honestly, it's entertaining to me because a lot of the times these people who are being asked, one, they don't even have position in what they're talking about. And by position, I mean, you're trying to pump whatever set that you think people should buy, yet you don't have more than like a couple $100s of that set. And I'm not I'm not putting any judgment on someone who doesn't have money or anything like that. But what I'm just saying is like, why would you ask a financial expert, using a comparison, obviously, why would you ask someone who's a supposed financial expert who doesn't have a substantial portfolio what to do? Like that's really weird to me, right? If you truly believed as much as what you say, then why aren't you spending all you got into investing into this thing that you're trying to pump like that to me that is a head scratcher. And I think part of it's like people really just want. See, my camera skills are the worst. People really just want connection, I think, and that's where a lot of this content seems to do well. It's like being able to ask someone like, "Hey, what's your take? What's your opinion?" And I don't know if like credibility in what you hold is really as important as being able to connect with people. So maybe that's it. But I saw a lot of this when I first got back into the hobby. Sorry, my dog's yapping over here. Let's test the lighting when I move. I saw a lot of this when I got back in 2020 on, get in here. He always cries when he wants to get into the blanket. It's kind of annoying. My dog's kind of needy, but he's really sweet. I saw a lot of this. None of this is new. This is part of the 2020 boom, the COVID boom that happened. Let's just get you situated somewhere. God damn it. No. Okay, you know what? How about we push you away and I'll just, yeah, that's good. So in 2020, this is what happened too. This is not anything new, at least to me. You had, and I was actually part of this. That's the thing that kills me. A lot of people coming in, and there's not really a great curated resource for understanding. You know, how do I get the TLDR summary of what's good, what's bad, what should I buy, what should I not buy? Like that information doesn't really exist because you have to watch a lot of content to get it, and you have to go through some experience to understand it. So I can understand the need to like want to ask a bunch of questions. However, I think what I learned through that experience back then is like booster boxes. That's it. That's the play. And that's the joke. That's why this is hilarious. Like it's not any more complicated than that, and it's also time. Booster boxes and time. Do you have the time to wait it out? And part of that too is when you wait it out, do you have the means and the understanding to sell? Because that is a whole different beast that I think people overestimate. I sell now. I've done decent volume, probably 4,000 or 5,000 transactions across TCG Player and eBay. No, probably like 3,000 or 4,000, probably like 3,000. So that's not a ton compared to most other people, but on some weeks, some days that's five packages a day. Other days that's one package a day. Some days it's zero because I'm not very active. What I'm pointing out is that like when you go through the selling experience, you start to realize that like selling really sucks. There's the fees, there's the shipping, and shipping ETB safely, it kind of sucks. It's an odd shape. You have to buy, I think, what size box is that? Probably like a 7x7x4 or something like that. No, 7x7x5. So you can buy a box that fits it perfectly, but you wouldn't have any room for padding. So you probably want to buy a box of padding just in case the seal rips. And like, it's just it's a whole mess of a product to ship compared to a booster box. At least in my opinion, it's just a different shape. And then you have to pay the shipping fee, and the shipping fee is probably anywhere between $6 and $10, depending on how far they live in the U.S. So there's layers and layers of like selling that people who are investing don't understand. You're gonna have to figure out how to way to sell this thing in the future. And if you're buying,
for example, singles, you got to figure out someone to buy that in the future. Booster boxes, same thing. ETBs, same thing. And so, like, when you start to factor in all these variables and you really think about, like, what is the best way for me to invest my money and to get my money back and profit rather, you probably want to gravitate towards the thing that the most common denominator of a thing that people will want in the future that fetches the best premium. And that's a booster box. You know, all this content around like singles and which singles to buy, I really like. So my guilty pleasure is watching all of it. One of the guys I like watching that I've watched really since he started his channel is this guy named Pika Pika Papa. He's a guy, I think in his 40s, family guy, career guy. He makes data specific presentations on the side. I really like his content because it's thought through. It provides data, and like it leaves you to decide like, hey, what should I make of the market right now? Anyway, that said, I still wouldn't recommend people investing into singles because I feel like the safest bet is going to be sealed, and singles, you know, what typically happens is that the singles prices will rise, and then sealed will rise with it, but sealed can rise, and singles don't have to rise with it. And so that is something that I've learned as I've invested into booster boxes in the past is, black and white, for example, those booster boxes are a ridiculous price. Thousands of dollars, $1,000+ per box, some are 3,000. The singles, honestly, the EV for some of those boxes is like sub $100, which is not good. So anyway, all this is a joke. It's a joke because there's so much content that people want to consume, yet the only thing you really have to do is just buy booster boxes. That's it. What I find interesting about the term Pokemon investor is I think a lot of different concepts get mixed together related to making money. And I think, I'll try to break it down. There's a crowd of people who legitimately just want to invest their money and they just put their money into something and they want to just walk away. And then 1, 2, 5, 10 years from now, whatever, they want to come back, they want to sell it, and they want to make money. Like, that is probably the truest definition of an investor, right? Someone who's in it for the long term, trying to make money, and trying to just make, the minimal amount of decisions to get the best output for their dollar. That's probably how I would define it. And I think there are many more people trying to be like that than people who are actually doing that. And so, part of that requires some level of financial maturity. Part of that also just requires like, hey, can you just accept that like all you have to do is buy booster boxes? Like, that's it. That's it. That's literally it. Just buy booster boxes. Don't ask questions about ETBs and with the exception of Pokemon Center ETBs, obviously. Singles and all this stuff, like, don't spend all your time watching Pokemon investment content. Just literally buy sealed booster boxes, and you're going to be set. That's it. So there's a small, I think, right? This is how I perceive this. There's a small percentage of people who are actually doing that, who are part of that investment community. And then there's everyone else. And everyone else, I would say, I think people like the term investor. It sounds so like prestigious and cool. And yeah, I invested in Pokemon, man. Look how much money I'm making. But they don't have any fundamentals down on how to invest properly. And they overanalyze things that honestly are just a bunch of noise. And they hyperfixate on certain trends or certain products or certain cards, and they try to figure out like, oh, is this the next big investment? I don't know a single person who has a ton of Pokemon wealth who got it without sealed in booster boxes. I don't. The guys who run businesses that I've talked to, most of them have gotten their business started from carrying sealed and then flipping that sealed over a long term. So they were able to get to where they are because of the sealed they had. So it's not like there's some magic formula here where they buy 50 moondrions at $50 each and then they flip them at 1,000. Like, I've never heard of anyone, at least in my experience, who's done that. Like, it's one, it's incredibly hard to predict those things. Two, the risk level that you would need to take on to be a profit and get that stuff right is really, really high. So I think like there's this minority audience who actually does investing the right way. And that's the just park it and forget it way. Everyone else is kind of like trying to really one up each other and be in this position where they think that the decisions they make is going to drive all this money and their portfolios are going to stonk and like, oh, because I bought one PCETB, it's going to the moon. Like, that's the majority, I think, of Pokemon investment people today. It's people who think that there's a better way, better idea, a secret strategy, a play that you can make. Honestly, the amount of time you spend trying to figure out the answer to those questions, you could spend that money making money, or you could spend that money doing something else that is going to be more productive. And I say this coming from someone who was actually part of this for a long time. I spent, when I got back in 5 years ago now, I spent the first two years probably just always in the trenches trying to figure out like, hey, is the cracked ice Charizard from Vivid Voltage going to be the next thing? All right, I'm going to participate in a buyout because we're going to buy it out in TCG Player, and then because of that, the price is going to quadruple because we've seen that happen before with the Blastoise cracked ice from Hard Cold Soul Silver, just stuff like that. And I realize now how ridiculous that was of us back then and how naive we were because we thought we knew better. And being through this now, I guess one full cycle. I don't know how you determine it, but seeing this in the past and now recognizing what's going on now, I understand now how foolish I was back then. And the key to true investing is literally doing nothing. That's it. Just buy it. Just buy it and literally do nothing. Everything else from like which singles to buy and which other sealed to buy and like right now there's only two clear front runners. Booster boxes, so cheap. Hopefully as low as you can get it, the lowest entry point. Booster boxes. And you can pick whatever sets you want, but honestly, how I approach it is whatever I can get for cheap, I buy some. And then whatever's on the up and up that looks promising, I buy some more. That's it. I don't try to overthink it. I don't try to overanalyze it. I don't try to like time things. I try to time the point in which I buy at the lowest price, but like I'm not trying to time things in a perfect way where it's going to prevent me from making the action of actually buying. That's like the key thing. Is like as long as you just do it, forget, you're good. You're golden. Booster boxes, and then I would say Pokemon Center ETBs are interesting. They have the potential, but I don't know if I believe in them as much as other people do. So I'm a skeptic, and I'm waiting on the side. Just kind of want to see what happens. It's possible, right? However, I have been burned on ETBs in the past. What 4 years ago now? I bought a ton of Sun and Moon Sun and Moon ETBs at their elevator price points. 2, 3, 4x what they were going for retail. They haven't really appreciated that much. I mean, I bought Unified Minds at 200 and I sold a couple at like 325. So net fees they got like 280. So yeah, that's pretty good. But I had to spend $200 for an ETB just to hopefully for it to go up. I bought a Cosmic that's gone up well, but honestly, I don't even know if it's resealed or not. I got it from Amazon, so I mean, it might be fine, but I have no idea. It looks good, but I bought it from Amazon, and I didn't realize that Amazon sold, you know, resealed product until years later. So there's that. I bought a Team Up booster box or a ETB for like 350. It's like 650 now. So those did well. Everything else did not. Everything else, my Burning Shadows ETBs I bought for like 90. They're still going for 90. So yeah, like my point is like I can't say the same for any booster boxes that I bought. I lied. There's one exception: Burning Shadows. I bought Burning Shadows for 350 a box, and I end up selling like 2 cases at like 400 a box. So I actually didn't even really make money because after you factor in shipping and then time, it wasn't worth it at all. So I should preface this by saying I'm not a Pokemon investor. Oh, look at my hair. I don't think of myself as like a Pokemon investor. I think of myself as someone who is trying to make money. And in the past, I was really ashamed just to like say that. I thought it was kind of corny and you know, you're the guy who's trying to make money in the hobby. And it's like, yeah, because if you're not, you're going to be one of those people who is a victim of the spending and spending and spending of ripping up packs and trying to build this elaborate collection, and then you realize you spent thousands of dollars on booster boxes and ETBs and all these cards, and you don't have any value to resell. I mean, that's essentially what I did for a long time, and that's essentially what people do all the time, right? Like, I find it odd to me that you can spend all your time and money on something and not expect something back. So when I say I'm not an investor, right? I'm saying that in the definition of like what is the stereotypical Pokemon investor these days. It's someone who is hyper analyzing every single thing that comes out to see if they can make a profit, a long term a profit. It's someone who is active in the space, asking all these questions about investments. It's someone who doesn't have the means to invest money, and so there is some judgment there, obviously, but I don't know.
All right. So I know in the first half of the video I probably hammered in why investing in Pokemon is a joke. And look, it really is simple. And I think people who overcomplicate it, you are wasting way too much time, way too much money, way too much effort. And for the rest of us who are kind of just sitting on the sidelines, like that's really it. That's the secret. There really is no other secret, right? Let's get into the part where I think you should do it too. And let me preface this by saying, and I probably said it before, I don't view myself as an investor. I view myself as someone who's just trying to make money and trying to prolong. Sorry, this is my daughter's hair tie. She's over there just reading and stuff. Um, I do this to prolong my ability to be in this hobby, to build a business, and also to build a. Hey, yeah. Oh. Sorry. I love being a parent. Being a parent, the territory in which in being a parent brings along random noises. So if you start hearing random noises from me, that's what I'm doing. And I obviously should be watching her very closely, but she's having solo playtime, which I believe that's like a thing now. Like let them just play on their own and supervise them. So anyway, what I was saying, I don't view myself as an investor. I look at as like, sorry, this is wobbling. I look at spending money and parking money as a way to long-term flip. And I've said that again, I'll keep saying that because I think that the definition of a Pokemon investor is way different than what people believe it to be. Anyway, why I think you should do it too. I said at the beginning of the video, this hobby is incredibly expensive. And whether you like it or not, pull rates are really bad. Really bad. And I don't remember, guess when I was a kid, you having to open tens of booster boxes, dozens, cases, right, to get a hit. I don't remember that being the case. And like nowadays, you could open up, I did this with Voltage, open up 14 booster boxes, 2.5 cases, whatever. 2 cases in 2 boxes, just so I don't get absolutely destroyed in the comment section. I don't remember having to do that just to get the top hit in the set. And that's a common occurrence these days. I just watched a video from some of the different PokeTubers. One guy opened up like 1,000 packs, did not get a single Pikachu EX SAR. That is crazy to me. If you just go by price, that's like $3,500, $4,000. And so, anyway, what I'm saying is that like the hobby's really expensive, and I don't think that's going to change. And I think that my mindset around people wanting to, I hate saying the word invest. I cringe every time I say it, but it has to be said. My perspective and mindset around people who want to do that, I understand. I understand because we can't sustain this hobby with our jobs. We can't sustain this hobby with our disposable income. And like anyone who's out there who's preaching like, oh, it's just for fun, just for collection. Like I want to blow, like, dude, honestly, I would love to be you. I would love to be in a position where I could just blow money and open up cases and cases and boxes and boxes and packs and be happy with the outcome of like not getting anything. And so I think my perspective over, being in the hobby really hardcore in the last 5 years, I understand. I understand why you would want to make money. I understand why you would want to recoup money. And so as part of that territory, it's like, hey, I gotta earn money if I buy certain things. And so why I say you should too, it's very low friction. It's low risk. So far, at least. Don't hold me to that. And it's not hard to do. And so if you have the means and you're tired of just pulling and whipping packs, and you want to have some type of value that has the potential to go up, I don't see anything wrong with it, with investing. I'm just waiting for someone to come out of the shadows and just beat me over the head. I don't see anything wrong with it, right? It is the, I made this point early in the video. It's the people who are really hyper fixating on like, well, should I buy this sleeve booster, trade it, and then hopefully get this promo that's part of this PCETB that is now out of print? Is that a good investment decision? It's those like decisions that kill me, that I think are just ridiculous. And like, just buy the booster boxes, just buy the specialty ETBs, just buy the highest quality, highest version of a sealed product you can for a set. If it's a specialty set, that means ETBs, right? And you'll be on your way. So that's really the point I want to get across is all this is really a joke, at least to me. It's not hard. It's really simple. Don't overcomplicate things. And you should definitely consider it if you have the means, because so far, for many of us, this has kind of proven fruitful. That doesn't mean it's going to be like that long term and forever. But I've been through this last 5-year cycle, and I can tell you that it's definitely worked well so far. So, yeah, I think that's it. I should go be a better parent and make sure my daughter, she's fine. I'm staring at her right now. Hi, baby. You having fun? Her face is like, she's 1, so yeah, whatever. Just want to say thank you for watching. I appreciate you giving me your time. If you have any comments or questions, leave them down below. I appreciate all the support. I really mean it. It means the world to me. And take care of yourselves. And please, please, please be careful with your money, because no one else will. So thanks, guys. Have a good night, and I'll catch you guys later.